Welcome back to another training video by V Studios. Allow me to introduce myself. If you don't know me by now, my name is Pathman Senathirajah. I am a V partner and the managing director of the V. But ultimately, I'm just a networker. And in this video, I want to share a little bit of my secrets of success. What did I do? What did I apply in building my business the past 8-9 years? Now, you sitting at home right now watching this video, you already must have been either through a few days, a few hours, a few months, or a few years of your life with QuestNet and the V. And I'm sure by now you've gone through enough ups and downs, rejection, disappointment, a lot of joy when you get a check, all right? A lot of joy, more joy when your downline gets a check. And I'm sure there reached many points of your whole journey where you wondered whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, okay? Now, to me, this whole concept of networking is not rocket science. It doesn't take a genius to understand how it works. And to be honest, the QuestNet system is the simplest out there. You won't get anything more simple than this, right? But I've traveled the world. I've spoken to thousands of people around the world, met networkers on the street, sat down in coffee shops, sat down in living rooms and kitchens with people. And they all tell me or ask me, more importantly, the $1 million question. Pathman, what do I need to do? All right. What is the secret of success? Okay, Pathman. Oh, Pathman, what am I doing wrong? Now, the beauty about network marketing is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All right. It's already there. Systems are in place. All right. And if you watch my last video, the simple rule of network marketing is shut up, listen, and do. And I'm saying it again with a lot of love. Alright, so if you really understand network marketing, there's no need for you to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. Systems like 8 basic building blocks, which I hope you have done. The very aggressive, unbelievable system of Rule 3. Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3. You can get it on video or ask your upline. Now today, I wanted to talk about mindset or benchmark. And before I even go into the module and talk to you, I want to share a little story about an athlete called Roger Bannister. He was a runner and he specialized in the 1 mile run. Back then it was not by meters, it was miles, okay, in the Olympics or whatever sporting game. And Roger Bannister's biggest challenge was that 1 mile was never run under 4 minutes. Alright, and doctors and scientists around the world, alright, came up with a conclusive finding that the human body was not capable of running 1 mile under 4 minutes. Okay? Alright? And Roger Bannister attempted many times to break what they call the 4-minute barrier. Right? First, second, third, many attempts. And the whole world told Roger Bannister, it's never been done. It's impossible, it's abnormal. It's not humanly possible, the negativity out there. And finally, alright, one day, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier. Never done by any human ever in the history of mankind. And he did it. He ran 1 mile under 4 minutes. Now the funniest thing about what happened, the next month after Roger Bannister achieved it, alright, over 20 people around the world achieved running 1 mile under 4 minutes. Now you're sitting there saying, oh, placebo or whatever. Simple fact, Roger Bannister created a benchmark. He created a benchmark proving that a human being can run 1 mile under 4 minutes. And that created a belief out there in many runners, hey, he's done it, I can do it too. Now this philosophy of benchmarking is how the human mind works. It applies to your personal life. It applies to everything you have ever attempted to do. Think about your childhood. When you were younger, alright, if you were supposed to dive into a swimming pool or jump across a ditch or ride a bicycle, alright, you always looked at it as an impossibility. As a little kid, you see somebody riding a bicycle, you say, oh my God, how on earth did he do it? You cannot imagine staying balanced on 2 wheels. When I was a kid, I couldn't believe it. But then I saw my brother do it. Right? And you know your brother. I lived with him for so many years. I grew up with him. And I said, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. Right? So what happened in my mind, that benchmark became achievable. Now we live in today's world with trying to keep up with benchmarks all around us. Alright? How to be a better son, better husband, and most importantly in our business, how to be a better networker. How to be a more successful networker. Let me tell you a story. Back then when we started networking, checks of 5,000 US dollars, alright, was almost impossible to achieve. 2,000 US dollars was such a great achievement because not many people have done it. But as more and more people in QuestNet achieve 1,000, 2,000 US a week, everyone started to believe it's possible. It's normal. It's doable. If you really start to understand what it takes to make it in this business, is to understand the philosophy of a benchmark. Alright? And today's module is called Act 48. And this video, most probably, if you look at the label sitting in front of you, it's called Act 48. Now, Act 48 is an abbreviation for activation in 48 hours. Now, if you are new, you may be thinking, okay, activation, new word, never heard about it. Alright, now let me explain it to you. Activation is basically when you refer the first person on your left and the first person on your right. Alright, with your tracking center. When you refer the first person on your left and the first person right, you are considered activated. That's called activation. Now, there are a lot of theories in activation. But my biggest question to you right now, sitting there, is how long does it take to activate your tracking center? How long does it take to get one on the left, one on the right? Now, I've traveled the world and I got answers which would shock even you. Some people say 1 week. Now, even you sitting back there thinking 1 week, doable. One on the left, one on the right. Okay, doable. Now, some people say 1 month. Alright? And I'm sure there are some morons out there saying it takes 6 months to activate and it's okay. Now, I want to set a benchmark in your mind. When I got into network marketing, I had no benchmark. I didn't know what was possible or not possible. I asked my upline, my mentor, Dato Vijay, alright, what do I do? He said, work as hard as you have ever worked before. Alright, or work harder than you have ever worked before. And I woke up every morning, went out there, showed as many plans as I could, alright, to sign up as many people as I can. Okay, and I brought in 20 over people into my network in 48 hours. 20 over people, directs. I spoke to anyone and everyone. Okay, now if you are sitting there and looking, I bet you, when you heard my statement that I got 20 over people in 48 hours, your reaction was, wow, unbelievable. Now, I thought it was normal. I didn't know it was unbelievable. Alright, I signed up 20 over people. I was a little bit, tired of working and talking to so many people. But I didn't know whether it was good. I didn't know whether it was bad. I just did it. Okay, until I met some other networkers from around the world. And I told them about my achievement of bringing in 20 over people in 48 hours. And everyone looked at me and said, Pathman, unbelievable. Nobody has ever done this before. I was shocked. And then I started to slow down. I didn't bring in another 20 over people the next 48 hours because you think it's such a great achievement. Why should I be a great achiever? Why don't I remain as a mediocre achiever? Now I want to change the way you think. Bottom line, I believe strongly that activation, one on the left, one on the right, should be done in 48 hours. 48 hours. Alright? Now, don't sit there and look at me and say, oh my God, that's impossible, that's difficult. How am I going to get 2 sign-ups? How am I going to get 2 people to buy a biodisc or buy a CMA watch in 48 hours? It's almost impossible. No, it's not. It's impossible because maybe you did not hear about everyone doing it. Maybe your upline never did it. But you are now going to set a benchmark for your downlines to follow. So if you are my downline sitting at home and I come to you and say, listen, you're brand new in networking. You don't know anything about it. You're sitting down with me for the first time after signing up. And I tell you, listen, you got to sign up 2 people in 48 hours. That's the norm. Everyone does it. It's normal. Alright? If you take 72 hours, you're considered slow. If you take 1 week, you're an absolute failure. My mother did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. My grandmother did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. My neighbor did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. My barber did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. Alright, my mother-in-law activated in 48 hours. Everyone I know, everyone I signed up activated in 48 hours. If you keep hearing this every single day, if you meet everyone in my group, the people you interact with, and everyone says, I did it in 48 hours. Activation, 48 hours. How long? Oh, less than 48 hours. How long about you? 48 hours, 48 hours, 48 hours, 48 hours activation. Now, if you listen to this long enough, and you're exposed to everyone around you in your organization who have achieved activation in 48 hours, what happens to you? It suddenly looks normal. Correct? Alright? It's like Roger Bannister ran 1 mile under 4 minutes. That means I can do it if I am also a runner. Alright? Now you're a networker. I did more than activation in 48 hours. I got 20 over people. And all I'm asking you to achieve is find 2 people, one on the left, one on the right, in 48 hours. Now you're sitting there right now saying, easy for you to say, Pathman. You're already financially free, sitting down here enjoying life. But I just got started. I don't know anything. Now, true and not true. Agreed. If you just got started and you're seeing this video for the first time, you're going to be a bit shocked thinking, how do I do activation in 48 hours? Now, if you watch the Rule 3 video, which I hope you have. If you haven't, find it, watch it. Alright? I tell them that you have to have a name list of 150 names minimum. If you are watching this video and you haven't got 150 names, please press pause, go to your dining table, write down 150 names, come back and watch this, okay? So rule number 1 in Rule 3, the 3 rules, is to have 150 names on your list. And I told you, or I told in that video, for you to divide your list into hot, warm, cold. Now let me focus on just the hot category. The hot category are people closest to you. Brother, sister, mother, mother-in-law, depends whether you get along with her. Alright, best buddy, neighbor, childhood friend, wife, fiance, whatever. Okay, people who are extremely close to you, you have a high level of trespass with. Alright, that means you can speak to them very direct. Now, if you have at least 6 people on your hot category, I had maybe 10, 15. Most people have about 10. Alright, immediate family, best friends. So you got 6 people on that list. Okay, alright. Now, ultimately, first thing you're asking is, what do I do with the 6 people? Go to them, alright, show the fastest plan you can show. 2 minutes. Fantastic business opportunity, blah, 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 blah. Buy this product, support me. I need your help. I'm just getting started in business. Hot market, huh? Your own brother, your own mom. Okay? Now, if you got 6 people, at least 2 will say, okay, done, here's the money, I'm joining. Alright? And if you meet 2 or 3 of the 6 people in 48 hours, you activated in 48 hours. Now, the mistake a lot of people make, or why they take too long to activate. Firstly, they are too afraid, or they have fear to approach the hot market. I'm scared to talk to my mother. I'm scared to talk to my brother because I don't want to be rejected by the people closest to you. Correct? Or to me. Right? Being rejected by a stranger is easier than being rejected by your brother. I believe so. Alright? So what you have to do is basically, don't exactly go to your brother like a prospect. I never went to my first 20 people like prospects. I went to them as a businessman in QuestNet who needed their support to help me get started in QuestNet. I went to my brother and said, listen, shut up, sign up, or I'll beat you up. Seriously, I did that. Okay? I need your help. Buy a product, be happy. Alright? You want to make money? Come and talk to me tomorrow. I'll show you how the plan works. I went to my mom. I said, Mom, help me out. Buy a watch, buy whatever. Okay, I went to my auntie, buy a coin. Go to somebody, ask them to buy an amazing biodisc. Okay? Whatever it is. Bottom line is, your hot market should sign up immediately. Okay? Now, if everyone just understands that philosophy, that if you approach your hot market first, warm second, cold last. Alright? If you approach your hot market first, you are definitely to get activated in 48 hours. Alright? Now, somebody asked me this question, but Mr. Pathman, in the first 48 hours, alright, I don't even know how to show the plan. Hello, wake up, smell the coffee. You don't have to show the plan to perfection. Remember, you're just getting them to support you. You're getting them to help. You may show the plan to them after 1 week. I showed the plan to my brother much later after he signed up. But I needed him to sign up. Now, why is activation in 48 hours so important? Why? Because if I achieved it, when I got activation in 48 hours, alright, all my sign-ups looked at me as upline. They look at you as the upline and say, what did he do? I want to do the same. So he got activation in 48 hours, done. I'm going to do activation in 48 hours. Do you understand? Now you do activation in 48 hours, the guy you sign up is going to do activation in 48 hours. So ultimately what happens, if you're smart, okay, everyone in your organization starts to do activation in 48 hours. You start hitting an amazing income faster than you ever dreamed of. Alright? You will achieve financial freedom in less than 2 years if you just set a benchmark for your network to follow. Alright? Now, everything you do, okay, the philosophy of networking is monkey see, monkey do. So I'm telling you right now, alright? I'm a monkey, you're a monkey. Okay? What I do, you see and you do. Are you guys with me? Simple philosophy of networking. So if I do activation in 48 hours, you see it, you do it, and the same applies to everyone in your group, duplication to perfection. Okay? Now benchmarking is so important in networking. Everything requires benchmarking. Okay? If you call me and I don't answer my phone and you ask me where I am finally when I answer, I say I'm at home watching TV, 8 p.m. Right? In most countries, 8 to 10 is what I call peak networking time. Okay? So at 8 o'clock you call me and I said, oh, I'm staying at home, chilling, watching TV, relaxing. What happens? You do the same thing. Right? You stay at home and watch TV at 8 o'clock. What happens to your downline? They do. Now you pick up the phone and you call me and said, okay, hi, excited, I'm showing a plan. You call me after half an hour, I'm showing another plan. You call me, I'm doing basic training. You call me, I'm out here in somebody's house doing a bio BP or a biodisc demo. Alright, so you call me every single time you catch me doing something exciting about QuestNet. What are you going to do? You're going to duplicate. Monkey see, monkey do. So Act 48, activation in 48 hours, is not something short term. It's not something for you to say, okay, I can do it. The effect of activation in 48 hours, if it's a benchmark and everyone follows, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alright? Because eventually you need to set a system in place. Now, rule 3. How can you ask somebody to do rule 3 if you haven't done it? Simple philosophy, same like Act 48. Alright? So I always tell people, before I tell everyone to do rule 3, I have to do rule 3. My question to you, are you doing rule 3? Because monkey see, monkey do. So philosophy is like rule 3. Alright, concepts like Act 48. Okay, all of this is something you set a benchmark. Others in your organization follow. As simple as that. Okay, now think about this. How you lead your life as a networker. Okay, a lot of people ask me this question and sometimes it's a bit difficult to answer. Because right now you are a networker. You are a businessman, businesswoman, entrepreneur. Okay? And what you are doing, you're not doing a traditional business. You're not selling stuff over a counter. You don't own a shop. You are basically in the people business. And the people business requires the philosophy of influence, the power of influence. How can you influence your people to act in a way you want them to act? Now in traditional concepts, I believe as a boss to an employee, you can demand your employee to act in a certain way. Correct? Come to work at 9 or you're fired. Okay? 1 hour lunch or you're fired. Work until late night or you're fired. That's a different kind of influence. Okay? But in network marketing, you can't do that. You can't walk to your downline and say do rule 3 or you're fired. You can't. You've got to influence the person to do rule 3. You got to influence the person to do Act 48, activation in 48 hours. And what is the strongest power of influence? Is you doing it yourself. By you having the discipline of practicing rule 3, alright, consistently, religiously, by you making sure you achieved activation in 48 hours. And all your leaders achieve activation in 48 hours. That your whole group sings, shouts, screams activation 48 hours as a norm. Don't make it sound or look like a miracle. It is not. Even a monkey can activate in 48 hours. If you're serious about your dreams and this business is not a hobby, that you want this business to achieve financial freedom, that you want the lifestyle everyone around the world is dreaming about, then wake up and smell the coffee. Do activation in 48 hours. Alright? It's very simple. Focus on your hot group in your name list. Approach them. Sign them up. Okay? Now there are many aspects of our business. Rule 3. Act 48. Alright? But it's generally your behavior also. And I know I'm digressing, but this is directly connected to Act 48. Alright? Because ultimately as a networker, you don't have a choice. If you want to be a leader in your own right, if you want to lead your people, alright, if you want people to follow you, if you want to say jump and they reply how high and not why, okay, you have to live to a higher standard. I think one of the greatest challenges for me when I got into networking, and I learned so much from my mentor Dato Vijay, alright, and every chance I got of sitting down with him, okay, he kept repeating these words to me. And today it makes a lot of sense. Back then I was a bit, why is he saying this every day? He always told me that, Pathman, start changing who you are. Start living to a higher standard. Because now people depend on you. People are watching you. Therefore, everything you do influences them. Everything you do influences how big and how fast and how strong your network grows. And I really thought about that statement, And of course, I had a lot of bad habits, like you, okay? And I slowly changed. I became a more disciplined person. I became more hardworking than I've ever been in my life. I was out there from morning till night, showing plans, doing basic training, talking to my people. Alright, because I realized that I was 001 in my organization. And everyone looked up to me. And eventually a lot of people are going to look up to you. And what standards you live by is what everyone is going to follow. You understand? Alright? Okay? And that's so important in life. And that's most important in network marketing. Because there's nothing else. Nothing else defines your organization except your leadership. Your standards as an upline. So my question to you is, what are your standards? What standards are you applying? Are you doing Rule 3? Alright? Are you doing a lot of basic trainings? Are you watching DVDs? Because if you don't do all of this, no one is going to follow. They smell that you're not doing it. Right? You can lie for one day, but you can't lie for 5 years. Ultimately, people are watching you and they realize they're not doing it. Alright? Or you are not doing it. They don't do it either. So as a networker, I think the hardest thing about being a networker, and let me tell you right now on this video, I think the hardest thing about being a networker is the responsibility you undertake on your shoulders. Alright, the responsibility you take on, that right now everyone you sign up is going to be watching you. That your attitude, the way you walk, the way you talk, alright, and how hard you work, everything you do will decide that person's success. So Dato Vijay always told me, Pathman, don't be selfish. Work harder than you ever worked before. Why? Because somebody else's success is dependent on your attitude, on your benchmark. So Act 48 is not about signing up 2 people. That's the details. Alright? The concept of Act 48 is about creating a benchmark. Alright? You create a benchmark here of activation 48 hours. Everyone who signs up in your organization follows that benchmark. And what happens? You basically create a whole network with the right attitude of a brand new benchmark. Right? You create a whole network of people who know monkey see, monkey do. Alright? Talking in networking doesn't help alone. I still remember I network from the age of 23 to 30. 7 years, full time, before I achieved financial freedom. Alright? And that 7 years, I did Rule 3 every month without fail. I never rested. I worked harder than I ever worked before because I knew that thousands of people depended on Pathman Senathirajah and thousands of people were watching Pathman Senathirajah. And my attitude, my action, my walk, my energy, my passion would decide their future, their success. So don't take this responsibility lightly. Alright? Focus on simple benchmarks. First benchmark I want you to look at is Rule 3. 15 presentations a month. Non-negotiable. Alright? If you do Rule 3 consistently, effectively, alright, everyone in your network, monkey see, monkey do, alright, will basically start listening to you, alright, and applying Rule 3. Now imagine if you have thousands of people in your downline. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, monkey do. Alright, a whole philosophy following your benchmark of 15 plans a month. Alright, what happens? Right, welcome to financial freedom. You will achieve an income you never dreamt about. Okay? Next benchmark which I want you to focus on, which is this video is supposed to be focusing on, is Act 48. Simple action. Activation of your tracking center. One left, one right, 48 hours. Possible? 100%. Doable? 100%. Has thousands of people done it around the world? Thousands of people have done it. Not enough people talk about it, so I'm talking about it. I did 20 over direct referrals in 48 hours. Who were they? Hot market. Brother, sister, mother, best friend, neighbor. Alright? People who are close to you who you don't have to talk for 45 minutes. 2 minutes, done, pop, get your product, sign up. I got my left, I got my right. Now if everyone just believes in that concept, if everyone just pushes this message of activation 48 hours, slowly it becomes what? Something which you hear over and over and over and over and over and over again. Act 48, activation 48 hours. You can do it in 48 hours. It's easy, everyone does it. It's normal, it's doable, it's achievable. We are supposed to do it in 48 hours. You hear this long enough, it becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind. It becomes a habit. First time the guy signs up, hello, welcome to the family, sign up, blah, 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 got your product, fantastic. Tada. Now, what do? I do? Create a name list, alright, hot, warm, cold, hot market. These people get 2 sign-ups next 48 hours. Done. How you say it matters. Don't say it like a depressed monkey, okay? Don't say like, oh, I know this Act 48 is very difficult. No one in the planet has ever done it. If you do it, you will be the first of human race who's ever done it. Don't say that. You basically say, hey, activation 48 hours. My mother just did it. Right? My cat just did it. I don't know. Do you understand? Alright? The more doable it sounds, more people do it. And I'm telling you, with all honesty, one on the left, one on the right. Activation, 48 hours, extremely doable. Send that message downline. Create that benchmark. Okay? Now, I've created a lot of videos. Alright, and this is one of them, Act 48. But you have to understand, and I just want to touch on this for 5 minutes. Watching this video, obviously, is highly entertaining for you. Alright, firstly, you get to see a very good looking person for 20-30 minutes. Alright, but more importantly, okay, whatever message you get out of our videos from V Studios, right? I don't record strangers. Okay, we get true success stories. We get networkers in front of the camera. People who have walked the talk. Are you with me? So everything I've ever shared with you in all our training videos by V Studios is something I've done, something I've achieved. Alright, it's a concept I believe in. That monkey see, monkey do. And the only way you can lead people is by living to a higher standard. By creating a benchmark for people to follow. Act 48, Rule 3, 8 basic building blocks. Alright, okay, a disciplined networker. All of that is just benchmarks. So the new benchmark I want you to set for yourself, for your network, for your downlines, and the guys signing up tomorrow is Act 48. Get your left, get your right, get activated in 48 hours. It's so much easier than it sounds. And everyone is doing it. Thank you very much.